We will next week in the plenary session in Strasbourg will vote about changes of the rules of procedure of the parliament. It was a hard work before, 2 years. A working group in the AFCO committee was working on that, and in our view inside the group, the GUE NGL, the outcome is in a different way. Of course, we are also in favor of more effective, for a more effective work of the European Parliament, but we see that the frontier between more efficiency and democracy inside the European Parliament is sometimes not in the right balance. We see the outcome of the changes of rules of procedure is the outcome of a 2 years great coalition in the European Parliament to give more rights, to change the balance inside the European Parliament, more to the great coalition, and to make it more programmatically for individual members and also for political groups, smaller groups, to make proposals to intervene or to be part of the democratic discussion and decision process here in the European Parliament. And for us, we are only saying, okay, if you have now seen and heard that President Scholz will leave the Parliament, will go back to Berlin, and that the SD is now saying this is the end of the great coalition, I would like to say the deal with the rules of procedure, this will be the proof, if it's really the break of the great coalition inside the European Parliament.
Our approach is that we need the European Parliament more transparent, more democratic, more positive to the pluralism. And I think that also the citizens are asking for such a parliament, stronger, more visible, more democratic. That approach will be the main goal of my campaign as the candidate from our political group for the Vice Presidency of the European Parliament. And I would like to have a stronger possible alliance on that, not only with other political groups, but also with individuals. Because, as Gabi said, a lot of changes undermines not only the role of the smaller political groups, but also the role of the individuals MEPs. And I would like also to say that now it's time for all of the other candidates for the top roles of the European Parliament to prove their liability, because this is a kind of important criteria. If someone like Gianni Pittella wants to say that with his candidature there is a break from with the tradition of Martin Schulz, which was one of the main leaders of that grand coalition, he has to prove it, not only by words, but also with actions.
That we have to redefine the role of the so-called Sherpas, those who are negotiating on behalf of the Parliament in interinstitutional agreements or in other important international linkages of the European Parliament into the concrete political and rule-setting world. That is not even picked up in the report. We have discussed it only very shortly in the working group. There was no readiness by the bigger groups to go here into a democratic fundament of the role of these negotiators on the behalf of the Parliament. We wanted to have a clear picture where the president not alone can decide who is in which interest, which is mandate acting. We want to have here the inclusion of the parliament as such. Third example in this direction is that we also wanted this very well-known procedure, how the majorities are reflected in consistent committees, in distributing seats, etc. So the D'Hondt measurement, in a certain way reflected in the rules. Even not maybe mentioning the rule, this as a rule, but saying that in the beginning of a legislative period, the parliament must come to a common understanding on which basis in future, in the next 4 or 5 years, this parliament shall function in this important direction. That is also not picked up, and so it remains a gentleman agreement between, again, the bigger groups to say how the majorities are reflected in all aspects of the daily work of the parliament.